Well, hello everybody, and welcome to today's Kids in the Kitchen video. So since this is my first video, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick introduction. My name is Kate Hanlon, and I am a nutrition educator for the University of Missouri Extension here in Pettis County. And this summer, I am going to be doing a series of videos called Kids in the Kitchen, where I talk about basic cooking skills, and then afterwards we'll demonstrate a recipe that you guys can make at home to practice the skills that we just talked about. So in today's video, we're going to talk about recipe reading and measuring. Now, recipes are very important in cooking because they tell us what we need to do to make something. Now, it's really important before we even start cooking that we read that recipe from top to bottom. Because we want to make sure that we know what we need and what we need to do. Because you don't want to be in the middle of something and realize like, oh, I forgot to do that, or oh, I don't have that ingredient. So it's always good to read from top to bottom. Now you'll see on top, you'll have the ingredients you'll need along with the amounts. And on the bottom, you're going to have the instruction of what to do with it. Okay, so remember, read that recipe from top to bottom. Now, we need to measure our ingredients because if we measure ingredients, that means that our recipe is going to turn out the way we want it to. And we can do that 3 different ways. So the first one is going to be using measuring cups. And there's 4 of them. They come in a set like this. And they're all different sizes, as you can see. I have this big guy on the side called a measuring 1 cup. And then I have a half of a cup, followed by a 1/4 of a cup, and a lot of times people will call it a 1/4, and then a 1/3. Okay, so these are cups that we can use to measure mostly dry ingredients, such as flour, sugars, things like that. But a lot of times people will use sticky ingredients to measure sticky ingredients, such as peanut butter. Okay, so that's that. And I knew how much they were because I can look on the label here, the handle, and it can tell me how much each ingredient, how much each is. Okay, so then we have a second way of measuring something, and that is going to be measuring spoons. Okay, and you'll notice these are a lot smaller than the measuring cups. Okay, and we usually use these to measure ingredients that we don't need a whole lot of. Okay, so salt, maybe some baking soda, some baking powder, things like that. Now you want to make sure that you're paying close attention to your handles here because there's 2 different amounts listed. We have this big guy, which is a tablespoon, TBSP, and then we have the smaller one, the teaspoon, which is TSP. So make sure you're paying attention that you're using the one that's listed on your recipe. Okay. Yeah, the last one is a liquid measuring cup. And you guessed it, we use it to measure things that are liquid. So that could be your water, your milk, your oil, things like that. And we want to make sure we put it on a flat surface because our liquid likes to move around. So put it on a flat surface and your amount is going to be listed on the side. Okay, so guys, when we measure things, we always want to make sure we get as close as we can to the edge. So with my dry measuring cup, say I'm measuring some sugar, we want to make sure we get close to the top as we can. Because that means we're going to have the amount that we need. Too less or too much of something can make our recipe turn out bad or not bad, or maybe flat, or not how we like it. All right, okay. Pretty simple, right? So I'm going to show you a recipe that you guys can make at home to practice that skill. Okay. Like with anything, the first thing that I should be doing before I prepare or eat any food is to wash my hands. So my hands are clean, so that means we can jump into what we need to do. So today's recipe is called do-it-yourself trail mix. And a trail mix is a really good snack that you can eat when you're having a busy day of swimming and playing and you need a little pick-me-up. It's going to give us the energy we need to have fun. So for the items you're going to need for this recipe is going to a bowl that is large enough to put all your ingredients in. Now I have a spoon because I'm going to have to mix it up. But if you have a bowl that comes with a lid, you can just put the lid on top, make sure it's nice and tight, and give it a shake because we're going to have to mix all of this stuff up. Okay, so our recipe is going to call for a cup of a square-shaped cereal. So this is what I chose. Ooh. Followed by an O-shaped cereal. Followed by a dry fruit of some sort. I'm choosing raisins today. No bowl is listed on that recipe. Okay, some pretzels. And then followed by a nut, half a cup of nuts. Everything else is 1 cup, but for my nuts, it was half of a cup. Okay, so I have it right there. I'm gonna take that spoon and I'm gonna give it a good mix. Now, when we mix something, we wanna be slow and gentle because if we go really, really, really fast, that means we're gonna make a mess. And that's more time we're gonna have to spend afterwards cleaning up, okay? So give it a good mix. So this doesn't have any seasoning on it, but because it's a trail mix that you can make yourself, you can do whatever you want. So you can put maybe some cinnamon or maybe a little bit of honey on for some sweetness. It's really up to you. So I like something that is a little sweet. So I'm gonna probably sprinkle it with some cinnamon or honey. Okay, so there you go. That's our first Kids in the Kitchen video. I hope you enjoyed it and I look forward to seeing you all again. Have a great day.